good day, everyone. Welcome back to the show. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. In today's episode, we got a very special guest in the house. He played Junior Healey in Problem Child number 3, Justin Chapman. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Justin, before you shot Problem Child number 3, I was just curious, did you even know about the first 2 movies? Did you see them when you were a child?
I was aware of them, but hadn't seen them. My mom later told me that one time we were driving and she saw a billboard for the first Problem Child movie, and she remembers thinking, "Oh, I'll never let my son watch that. You know, that's going to be a bad influence." But then, once I was auditioning for the part, I went back, of course, and watched the first 2 films. She was pretty strict about things that I could watch at that age.
Okay, understandably. Now, you just mentioned your audition. What do you recall from the audition?
I was 9 at the time. I had started acting about age 8. It'd been maybe a year or 2 when I was going out for this. And I had already done a number of commercials and TV shows. And there was one kid I kept coming up against for a number of the productions. It always came down to me and this one other kid, and he kept getting them. He kept getting the parts. And I remember, he got the part in the remake of the Little Rascals, for example, that we were both up for, and a bunch of other stuff too. It was always down to me and this other kid. And for Problem Child 3, it was down to me and this kid again. And so we've gone through multiple auditions and callbacks. And at the last one, I remember it was actually they had planned to do a Problem Child 3, 4, and 5, and whoever got this part was going to do all 3 movies. And the 4 and 5 never ended up happening. I'm not sure the reasons for that, but so we were auditioning from a scene from the 4th script or 4th story, which was in development, and it in the scene, the kid's being a brat to some authoritative figure, and so I do the lines as I'm storming out of the audition room. I turn around and flick off the casting directors and producers and directors and stuff. Like, just actually did it. And I remember they were just like shocked at that I actually did it. Here's this little 9-year-old, right? But I guess it worked. I guess that was the the attitude they were looking for.
So you had some Junior Healey in yourself.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Okay. Crazy, man. So were you and your parents aware of the stuff you had to do in the movie? I mean, obviously with the first 2 parts, you could already see what Junior Healey was for a character, but did you exactly know what you were about to shoot?
Yeah. We knew, all about the character, and that he was this little brat basically and did horrible things. And we had watched the first 2. So, but that was the fun of it. I got to pretend to be this kid who did and got away with these horrible things.
Yeah, absolutely. What can you recall from the shoot? Because as far as I know, the movie from the start was considered to be not a cinematic movie, but was for the VHS markets. And obviously the budget is a little bit smaller for those kind of productions. But what do you recall from the shoot, being this young kid, being allowed to do all those crazy things on the shoot? Was it, as I would imagine, a kid being in Disneyland?
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a made-for-TV NBC movie of the week when it first came out. I remember a lot of the locations. My grandpa would take me to a number of them. They were all around Southern California. And actually, the filmmakers used my grandpa as an extra in one of the scenes at the roller rink when I'm playing hockey. And so that was pretty cool. Here's this, machinist from Dublin, Ireland, and all of a sudden he's in a movie. And then I remember at the location where we did the Boy Scout camp next to this lake, I remember somebody was writing me these anonymous notes and leaving them for me, like at my trailer or places where I would find them. And, I wish I remember what they said, but it was something along the lines of like I'm watching you figure out who I am kind of thing. And I think we eventually determined it was some kid on set, some extra who was like looking up to me or something like that. And this was his way of reaching out to me. But I remember being really creeped out at the time.
Yeah, understandably.
And then, and I remember, actually, I don't remember this, but my parents told me later that at one of the sets, during lunch, the producers and directors asked me to, have lunch with them at their table. And so we're sitting there having lunch, all the food is out, and I pick up a deck of cards and just throw them all over the place onto their food and stuff and say, let's play 52 pickup. I don't remember that at all, but yeah. So I guess I had a little Junior Healey in me.
Absolutely. It really seemed like they got the right kid for the part.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
But, I remember it was a lot of fun. I got to miss school for a month plus, although I had to do some hours each day with a substitute. But, I remember the setup before filming, we took dancing lessons. I would sit in on auditions for other characters. Yeah, like the devil girl at the end, who yes. At the very last scene, I sat in on her audition, and another actress who was auditioning for it, who didn't get the part. They would ask these actresses, and I'm sitting right there, and they say, "Do you think he's cute?" And this one girl is like, "I've seen better."
Okay, that's honest.
Yeah, and I remember filming at the various locations. I remember the rap party and dancing at that. And I remember doing voiceover afterwards and sitting in on the editing process, which is really cool. And then, afterwards I got nominated as Best Young Actor in 1995 at the Hollywood Reporter's Young Star Awards. So that was really cool. At the awards ceremony, I got to walk down the red carpet and signed autographs and took pictures and all that stuff. And the kids from Jurassic Park were there, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas was there. And I remember thinking, I hope I don't win, because I was really nervous about having to go up and give an acceptance speech in front of all these people, ironically. And actually, in my category, Joseph Gordon-Levitt won for Angels in the Outfield that year.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say the first love interest of the movie, or in the movie, is Tiffany. And I was always wondering, because she was this gorgeous girl, did you have a crush on her?
I did a little bit, to an extent, a 9-year-old can. But, that actress, Jennifer Ogletree, was very sweet, very professional, was great to work with. In the movie, she's this total brat, right? But yes. In real life, she was very nice. And I remember when I got back to school after filming the movie, and this older kid came up to me in the playground and in front of everybody. He's like, "You like her for real?" And I was like, "Yeah, so what? What's wrong with that?"
Okay, well, I appreciate your honesty. One actor who was in all three movies was Gilbert Joffrey. Am I pronouncing that right?
Godfrey, yeah.
Godfrey, yes. He was in the first movie, he was in the second movie, and he was in the third movie. And yeah, he's this crazy, outlandish person, loud person with a very recognizable voice. And I was just curious, what was it like working with him?
He was really nice and really funny. I only had a couple of scenes with him. He plays this dentist who's, torturing me basically by putting on these painful braces that I don't want and don't need. And I'm tied down to this chair in the dentist's office. And to escape, I release this laughing gas, and him and his assistant laugh and pass out, and then I escape. But he's hilarious, and he's joking around with us when the cameras are off, and was just it was really fun to be able to work with him.
Yeah, I can imagine. One more question before I let you go. I was always curious about you being a kid and seeing your movie for the first time. Can you remember what it was like seeing you on, such a big movie as a child?
Yeah, I mean, so as I said, it was a made-for-TV NBC movie of the week. So it first aired on NBC, but I had seen it before then at a screening for the cast and crew and their families and stuff like that. And it was one of the highlights of my life for sure. I got to be a movie star for a minute, so that was great. I went on to do a number of commercials, TV shows, plays, and other movies, but this was the biggest role that I had. But I did do some funny ones. I played Chuck Norris as a kid on Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, nice.
I played Trey Parker, co-creator of South Park, as a kid in basketball.
Nice.
I was in Family Matters with Urkel. I was in Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was on the Pauly Shore Show. I was on the Jeff Foxworthy Show. Weird Science. I was a Sunny D kid. So I worked quite a bit when I was active, and I had some pretty funny parts. And then I went to an arts high school. It's called LACSA, LA County High School for the Arts, on the Cal State LA campus, and I was in the theater department. So then I did a number of plays there, and my friends and I made a ton of our own movies. And then I got more into journalism and politics, and started writing for local papers, and started doing less acting. And I ran for the Altadena Town Council. It's like a city council. And when I was 19 and I won, I beat the 57-year-old 10-year incumbent vice chairman of the council when I was 19, and I was the youngest elected official in LA County. As far as I know, still am, and
amazing.
Then I went to UC Berkeley for my undergraduate. I went to USC for my master's. And then I worked, I got into international relations and traveling. I love to travel. And I worked for the Pacific Council on International Policy. It's like a, foreign affairs think tank. And now I'm working for a nonprofit foundation called Michelson Philanthropies, and I'm a digital content writer and editor. But I still write scripts and books as well. And my wife works in the film industry. She just joined the union, actually, Local 44.
Oh, okay.
She's a shopper and has done production design. So we're still a Hollywood couple, so to speak. And I've thought about getting into acting again at some point, but we'll see what happens.
Sounds like a plan. Justin, I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much. Thank you for doing this travel back in time, back to the 90s. And hopefully we can do it again sometime when you do the 30-year anniversary of Problem Child number 3.